in this race is because I care about people. I care about children, I care about women, I care about families, and I believe that investments in people create a better future for all of us. And that is why I'm running. I'm going to take you back 25 years ago, actually it's closer to 30 years ago. I was a 5th grader then. 5th grade was a very tough year for my family. My dad was on his 2nd deployment in Korea. Ouch, that's right, ouch. Those deployments are a year long, they're tough on families. My parents were separated at that point. My mom was working multiple jobs. She was cleaning houses then. She'd clean them at night. She'd work a job during the day. She was often out of the house. The Department of Social Services had become aware of my family's situation because me and my 3 brothers missed a lot of school that year. A lot of school. If we missed the bus, we couldn't get to school. So we ended up having to have court intervention that year. We also relied on a lot of services that year. My family used food stamps. They used WIC. I relied on free breakfast and lunches at school. I even relied on handouts, clothes from neighbors to help us get by. I have this story of a neighbor who gave me these Mickey Mouse pants, which she thought were great, but I was pretty mortified that I was getting this very easily identifiable second-hand clothes. And as a little bit more of a backdrop to that, my parents themselves were struggling. My parents were unable to finish high school. Neither of my parents finished high school. They were a interracial teenage couple, parents that became parents as teenagers. And although they were not kicked out of school in early 80s Virginia, they were not welcome, and they left. So that's the backdrop. That's not what I want to focus on. What I want to tell you is that what happened after that 5th grade year. My parents didn't have a lot, but they gave me a whole lot. They gave me an unshaking, unwavering belief in the transformative power of education and the opportunities it creates for children and families to improve their outcomes. That's what motivated me to be on the school board. I see many of my school board members here. It's what motivated me to do Teach for America. It's what's motivating me to run. They instilled in me the value and necessity of hard work to get things done. And I think that's a value I still have today. And they showed me the value of giving back to your community, both when you're receiving it and when you're able to give it back to others. And that's something that I keep and hold on today. It's what drives my service to the city and the county and to students. And the investments that people made in my family paid off. My parents are doing well. They are not here right now because they are on vacation in Hawaii. So they're sending me photos of them on beaches. I'm like, great, good for you. Although it's a beautiful day here in Virginia. My brothers, all 3 of my brothers are in the military, serving across the nation. I have 2 in the Army, 1 in the Air Force. And then I ended up going to college. I attended Yale. I see a few Yaleys in here that we've met through Seville. I ended up working my way through Yale and getting a degree in political science. After Yale, I applied for Teach for America with an application that actually looks remarkably similar to this speech that I have right here. I believed in education since I was young. It's what helped me. I did Teach for America. I went to graduate school for education. I taught middle school math, which if you think being a politician is tough, go into a class with the 7th graders and tell them that they need to do math problems. And then I went to law school with a focus on public service law and child advocacy law. And the reason I went to law school is that I realized that my students, many of them had needs that extended far beyond my classroom doors. And I thought that law school would be a good way for me to marry my interest and continue to serve children in another way. I had my own children, Lucius and Bennett. I ran for school board 6 years ago. And I started working for the city as a deputy city attorney, where I primarily represent the Department of Social Services and continue to work on behalf of families and abused and neglected children to provide them services. So, my 5th grade story is not unique. I know from my work in this community that there are hundreds of children and families locally, hundreds of thousands of children in our community, and I know that they have struggles that are similar to mine, many of them worse than mine, and I know that they have strengths that are greater than mine. And I know that investing in those families and those children and those people will create a better future for all of us. So,